Hello, Pinball Mayhem here. I'm going to show you how I'm going to replace some drop targets in my drop target assembly for Ghost in the Shell. I was using some 3D printed targets and they held up pretty well. The middle one broke and I had the original ones. The other thing is my reset bank for some reason was busting off the bottom. So we're going to try some genuine new blue drop targets. I had nothing on the face. If these last for a while, I'll print some nice decals to put on, but these are official Gottlieb from Pinball Resource. So one thing when you're working on your custom game I'm going to recommend is plugs. Assemblies that are going to need a lot of maintenance possibly, or something that you're going to get beat up. If you can make plugs to get it easily removable, 4 screws, this is on the bench, I don't have to think about it. These are pretty easy to work on when you get them on the bench. I have a couple tools, not too much we're going to worry about today. I'm going to try to flip it upside down so I can try to show you everything. I got a spring hook, allow me to manipulate the springs, and a captive spring hook, which will allow me to clip the springs. So start by taking the side plate off. Pretty 4 screws. Now this bracket here is not attached permanently, it just kind of sits in a divot, so keep that in mind, that it's not going to be welded or something like that. Another point I'm going to make is when you're taking these in and out of wood, you can do it with metal screws too. It's always recommended for wood screws is back thread. So what I mean is you're going to take this screw and I'm going to put it in the hole, if this is the wood screw hole, and I'm going to back thread it till I feel it click, and sometimes you can hear it click. You feel it click and then you can go in. Now with wood that's really important because you want to follow the same thread down every time. So this is Gottlieb System 1 drop target assembly. All you just need to do is take these springs off, and I can just go like that, pull the spring. What I am doing is I'm taking the spring off the hook and putting it back on. So the new target in place, grab the spring, hook it on the back arm, snap around the hook, and I'm good. A couple different ways you could do this. If I want to use a push spring hook, I could just a little bit more difficult. I'd rather do it this way. These are spring hooks are something from copier service. It was a little tight. I'm hoping that also by replacing these I'm going to get a little bit better reaction out of them, maybe. The middle one is taking a beating because it's really close to the pop bumper. I've had a lot of comments saying, you're going to break your drops. I'm like, yeah, I do kind of like the action we're getting in that area. A lot of quick pop action from a single pop bumper. It's just a lot of games have to have 3. And right now, I only have 1. And I got a lot of action. I don't got that 3 pop randomization, but I do have the one that just drops right out. So there we go. Kind of speeding up by holding it on the spring. A little tighter, but just go back in. Save me a little time. Replacing drops is normally one of those things that people dread. At least if you can get it, so that's one reason to keep in mind on your homebrew project. Try to make assemblies like drop targets removable. It doesn't take long. It's just a few cents to put a key in there if I have any problems. There, I got all my drop targets on. So flip this around back in place. I'm going to start with the bottom 2 screws. thread them till I feel them. Oh, it's just very important to not strip out screws. If you can feel where the screw's going, great. But if you strip out a wood screw, especially on something like your wooden playfield, you're stuck with glue and toothpicks. I'd rather take 2 seconds to go backwards. And I'm going to keep saying that in my repair videos because I feel strongly about that. I like to get all my screws started before I do my final tighten on a panel, just in case there's some shifting. Those are my old targets out. There's my new targets in. So my concern is, why do I keep breaking targets? Now I got all new targets. I'm looking at the clip here. I should have enough. If I break these, okay. So that's. I'm trying to take the slack. If I break them now, then I have way too much power going to the coil. Luckily, targets aren't that expensive. It's just more of a pain in the butt to ship them. And I'll be going through more, so I'm not really too concerned about breaking the bottoms off because it doesn't seem to affect anything. I'm more concerned when the faces are breaking off. And these are kind of nice. They're 3D printed with PETG by a friend of mine. They held up real well, except for the O eventually broke. And the back side you can see is rough. That's a part of the 3D printing. Is a little hard to get two good sides. I had to do some filing, and the hooks didn't really work out so well. So probably not going to be 3D printing again. Those should work. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you find this helpful and use on your System 1 Gottlieb, your drop targets, or another homebrew.